So, assuming you successfully win this scenario with the dwarves, they make their way to Laketown.
Woohoo!
And we come on to the Laketown chase.
Well, hey. Right, okay, just have a quick look. Okay, so this is as the dwarves have entered Laketown. Bard is trying to. So Bard, there's a sort of a warrant for Bard to rest in the Laketown Guard. So Bolg is Bolg is trying to sneak around with his son.
Oh dear.
So Bard and Bane are trying to sort of sneak around the city. This is a scenario that I've not read, but I know Adam and Jay talked about it at Ardacon, and it sounded really cool because it sounded different. It's more of a stealth mission, isn't it?
Yeah.
So layout. This scenario takes place within Laketown. The board should include plenty of buildings that you should have bought by now, hey, and painted up.
Shoot some foreground ones.
Barrels of fish, market stalls, crates and other hidden places should litter the board, providing plenty of cover for Bard and his son. The wind lance is placed atop the building in the northeast corner of the board. The lake should have boats and pieces of broken ice and models to jump across.
Cool.
So we'll take it for the participants and then sort of the starting positions on objectives. So for good models, it's Bard the Bowman and Bane, son of Bard. Evil models, the Master of Laketown, Alfred the Counsellor, Braga, Captain of the Guard, and 12 Laketown Guard, 4 with sword, 4 with spear, 4 with bow. So it's quite a nice little...
Quite a nice small amount to start your Laketown force on.
Yeah, totally agree with that, and it's not too complicated. Okay, so starting positions. So you play on a 4x4 board, should I say. The board looks like it's halved diagonally. The evil player deploys Braga and the Laketown Guard anywhere in their half of the board. They then deploy the Master and Alfred within 6 inches of the wind lance, which is sort of in one top corner of the board. The good player deploys Bard and Bane anywhere within 12 inches of the southwest corner of the board, so opposite the wind lance. So assumingly Bard and Bane have to get across the board stealthily.
To them,
yeah, so objectives. Bard is trying to get the black arrow to the wind lance in order to prepare for the coming of Smaug the Terrible. He must avoid capture at the hands of the guard or risk being thrown in prison. The good player wins if the model carrying the black arrow is in base contact with the building containing the wind lance in any end phase.
Something I've noticed is they're using the end phase a lot more.
Yes, because it's a phase that's forgotten.
That never comes up unless you got Grinner. You're like, I'm going to use the end phase. Swap with me.
True. I don't think I realised there was an end phase until I got Grinned.
Yeah.
What else comes in? Something else you can roll for in there. Oh no, it's that.
End phase usually check victory conditions. Roll for game end.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, go. Yeah. 1 or 2 sort of thing. Okay. The Master of Laketown has had enough of the bargeman questioning his authority and has decided to put a stop to it, ordering his men to find Bard and arrest him on sight. The evil player wins if both Bard and Bane are slain before they can complete their objective. Cool. Okay. So some special rules to make a bit more sense. Sentries, so familiar with this from other things.
One,
yes.
From the Hobbit scenarios.
The men of Laketown have no idea where Bard is hiding and are scouring every inch of Laketown in search of this outlaw. Evil models do not move normally at the start of the game. Before each evil model moves, the evil player rolls a d6. On a 1, that model is searching around in its vicinity. It may not move this turn. On a 2 to 3, the model is distracted by a noise elsewhere on the board. The good player may move the model up to 3 inches in any direction. On a 4 to 5, the model walks carefully to where they believe Bard to be. The evil player may move the model up to 3 inches in any direction. On a 6, the model thinks he has spotted Bard and moves as quickly as possible to arrest him. The model may move as normal. If the alarm is raised, evil models move as normal from that point on. Might may not be used to modify this rule. Okay, so sounding the alarm. Once spotted, the Laketown Guard will pursue Bard until he is captured. If at the end of the movement phase, if either Bard and or Bane are within 3 inches and line of sight of an unengaged evil model, then they have been spotted and the alarm has been raised. Okay. Not worth killing over. Bard has no intention of killing anyone, although he is still willing to fight if need be. Neither Bard nor Bane may shoot or make strikes if they win a duel roll. They may, however, try to knock out the enemy that they beat in a fight. If Bard and or Bane win a duel, roll the number of dice equal to the number of attacks they have. For each roll of a 4+, they knock out one model in base contact. If the model is a warrior, remove it from the board. Heroes are instead treated as if they have been subject to the paralysed magical power, or they may not test for recovery on the turn they were knocked out.
Makes sense.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Will of Fate may not be used to prevent being knocked out.
Oh.
The alarm will be raised if Bard or Bane fail to knock out every model in base contact. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Quite like that. It's cool.
That's better. I especially like the don't roll immediately for paralysed. That would be rubbish.
Oh, just get straight back
Bang.
up. Oh, I've been seen.
Up it gets.
Oh.
Hey, it's Bard.
That would really suck. Reinforcements. Once the alarm has been raised, more guards join the chase for Bard. Whenever a warrior is removed from the board, keep it to one side. After the alarm has been raised, at the end of each of the evil player's subsequent turns, any warriors removed from the board may re-enter the board from any table edge as per reinforcements rule on page 87 of the main rulebook.
Okay.
Cool. Icy waters. The waters that surround Laketown will chill anyone who enters them to the bone. Sheets of ice float upon the lake, providing an uneasy footing for those brave enough to cross them. Any model that moves during the move phase and ends its move on a piece of ice must roll a d6. On a 1, the model loses its footing and falls into the lake. Any model that falls into the lake is removed as a casualty. Ooh.
Wow.
Take the ice at your own peril, I think.
Yeah.
The Black Arrow. The Black Arrow has been hidden in plain sight in Bard's house, but with the dragon's slumber about to be disturbed, Bard knows it's the best hope his people possess. Bard starts the game in possession of the Black Arrow. It's a light object as described in the main rulebook. I suppose he could pass it to Bane then.
Yeah.
I like this scenario. I think it's quite cool.
It's cool. You need a lot of terrain to make it fun.
Yes, that's the thing. I was thinking we could just do Kansas for it, but you kind of need the buildings and the walkways.
Stacks of fish to hide behind.
Oh, it'd be good if we did it with the Epping board. That would be sick.
Be cool.
I think this is my favourite one so far. I quite like
definitely.
Because you could do it quite quick, I think, and you could do it in different ways.
Yeah, you can replace it with anything. It doesn't have to be Bard, but what I quite like about this one is it doesn't have to be Bard, Bane, Master Alfred, and so on. It could be anyone. You could do it for any sort of, just like battle companies. It would work really nicely.
Yes, it would. Yeah, that's a sneaky mission.
Sneaky mission where it's more about the characters than the fighting.
Yes, and it's about it's how whether you're going to be patient or whether you're just going to go and risk it and knock stuff out and go for it. Mm-hmm. It's almost a bit like a Space Hulk game where you've got to go and you've got to be tactical about it and you've got to try and go on make things go unawares in a way. Yeah. It's cool.
I wonder if you could call it heroic combat if you knock someone out. BAM!
Call someone out. Bam! Bam!
Bam! Knock 2 people out. Bam! Just like knocking out guards.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that would be very cool. Okay, the designer's notes. This is a great scenario to take your time with. We recommend sitting down and enjoying it with a nice cup of tea and immersing yourselves in a tactical game of espionage.
Cup of tea?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks for the nod there, for the planter.
So, well, I'm like 2 weeks out of date from the planter, but I know that Tom has bought like 10 Laketown houses.
Yeah.
And obviously they're...
I wonder why.
Yes. So, boys, get on this scenario.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You need 2 more, Tom.
Come on, Tom. And maybe one for the Winlands.
Yeah.
But that'd be cool. I'd love to see that on the channel. Really would. Gravy. So next.
Oh, I get an easy one. Next up, we've got Assassins in the Night. So I assume this is where the Hunter Orcs arrive and climbing over all the rooftops and they're trying to kill the injured dwarves. Mm. So layout is played nicely on a 12 inch by 12 inch, so 1 foot by 1 foot, small board. Yeah. Right, so I already like this scenario. Yeah. The less space I need to put out, the better. Layout is played in a very small space, representing Bard's home and its immediate environs. The majority of the gaming area is the interior of Bard's house and should feature some terrain to restrict movement, such as tables and whatnots. Through the main door of the house there is a veranda, and beyond that a sharp drop into the chilly depth of the long lake. A few windows will provide additional access points for the evil models during the game. 3 or 4 is about right. So how it looks on the board here is you've got your square, you've got one window, second window, third window, fourth window, and then a door here. So you're going to be, I assume the evil models are going to enter from all sides.
Yeah.
Your participants are Feely, Keely, Bofa, Oin, Bane, Tariel, Legolas, Sigrid and Tilda. And for the evil models you've got Thimble the Hunter and 12 Hunter Orcs. The starting positions. The good player places both of the dwarf on the veranda and the rest of the good models, except Legolas and Tariel, anywhere within Bard's house at least 1 inch away from a window. Legolas and Tariel do not start the game in play, but will be available later. The evil player may then place D6 evil models anywhere on the veranda or touching a window. The remainder will enter play later. See Desperate Attack, one of the special rules. Objectives. Having followed the dwarves' trail since their lucky escape on the forest river, Bolg and the hunter orcs at last close in on their prey. The evil player wins if any 3 good models are killed. Hello, Sigrid and Tilda. The good player wins if they can prevent this for 10 turns.
10 turns?
Or if there are no evil models in play in any end phase. So if you wipe them out,
yes, yeah, sure.
then they'll be there.
Tough. Okay.
So, Desperate Attack, one of the special rules. Bolg has hurled his warriors against the dwarves in Bard's house with reckless abandon, indifferent to any loss of life. Whenever a hunter orc is slain, place it to one side, and on the 3+, it may come back in play anywhere on the veranda or touching a door or window. It may move no further that turn and cannot shoot. Obviously, you can only kill Fimble the Hunter once, so he may not re-enter play.
Yeah.
Morgul Sickness. Keely lies dying, the poisons of the Morgul arrow that stuck him surging through his blood and ravaging his body. He may join the fight, but the effort could kill him. Every time Keely moves, shoots, is involved in a duel, or is pushed back, roll a d6, on the roll of a 1, he dies and is removed from play.
Good here.
Keep him...
Yeah.
You just sit there.
Yeah, it's not worth risking the scenario. And
no. You got him, Sigrid and Tilda. The Elven Hunters. Tariel and Legolas have tracked Bolg's warband to Laketown. As the fighting breaks out in Bard's home, they race to the scene. Starting in the second turn, the good player rolls a d6 for each Legolas and Tariel. At the end of the good move phase, on a 6, they crash through the roof of Bard's house and enter the fray. Place them anywhere on the playing area as long as they are not touching an evil model. They may move as normal, but may not charge this turn.
Well, okay.
Wow.
I think that's really cool.
That is cool.
Nice little cosy scenario.
Yeah.
You could use the pub. That would be good.
That'd be cool.
Because you've got an internal thing anyway, haven't you?
Designer's note, this scenario is a quick and brutal fight within the confines of Bard's house. With the orcs pouring in, the good player will need to keep their models, especially Sigrid and Tilda, out of harm's way. If things look really bad, consider spending might to get Legolas and Tariel into the fray, because they've clarified you can use might.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. Is it just a natural 6, or can you might it?
Yeah,
so yes, you can. For the evil player, honour has no place here. Feel free to pick on the weakest good models to secure victory. Pick on Sigrid and Tilda.
The thing is, because 100 orcs all 2 attacks, you only really got to get 1 in against each of the girls. Yeah.
Chop. And as ever, be sure to comment, like, share and subscribe.
Support your Hobbit hosts in the links below.
Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Support your Hobbit hobby.
And happy strategy battle gaming, everyone.